Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Today, we're going to be talking about healthy eating and boosting your immune system through nutrition. So thanks again for taking the time to join us. My name is Lindsay Moran, and I am the Registered Dietitian here at Connect Care 3. And joining me today, I have one of our certified health coaches, Amanda Feiser. We're excited to get a chance to speak to everyone today. So let's get started. To begin, I'd like everyone to take a moment and to think to yourself, what does healthy eating mean? What comes to your mind when you hear the words healthy eating or a healthy diet? The truth is, healthy eating can look a bit different for everyone. We all have different goals, dietary restrictions, preferences, and even health conditions that may change what our eating patterns look like. Some people might be trying to lose weight, manage blood sugar, control high blood pressure, or manage a certain chronic illness, which will dictate how they eat. In general, however, according to the Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2015 to 2020, a healthy eating pattern includes vegetables, fruits, grains, fat-free or low-fat dairy products, protein foods, and oils. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans also state that a healthy eating pattern limits saturated fats and trans fats, added sugars, and sodium. A strong immune system is important as it helps to offer protection from illness. A well-balanced diet full of a variety of foods is one of the best ways to support a strong immune system. So what might a well-balanced diet look like? What should you be sure to include? We'll talk about that next. So here you see the USDA's MyPlate. MyPlate helps us to build a well-balanced, healthy plate. As seen in the graphic on this slide, MyPlate recommends that half of our plate includes fruits and vegetables, a quarter of the plate contains protein, and the final quarter contains grains, preferably your whole grains, to get some extra fiber and nutrients. These recommendations align with the Dietary Guidelines for Americans that we discussed on the previous slide. So keeping your diet well balanced with a variety of foods ensures that you are nourishing yourself with quality macro and micronutrients that will help to keep you energized, focused, and healthy. Although you might notice that oils and fats are not technically shown as a food group here, they do provide essential nutrients and are important to include. They are usually found as ingredients in food and not as separate foods themselves, which is why you don't see them accounted for on this page. When consuming a well-balanced eating pattern with a variety of foods, you will be sure to include the necessary nutrients to support that healthy immune system that we all are striving for. We'll talk about some of these key nutrients in the following slides. So we'll begin by going through again these essential nutrients that are important to consume to optimize your immune system and keep your body functioning to its best ability. We'll start here with vitamin A. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin that you may also know by the name retinol. Vitamin A helps to fight off infections, maintain healthy vision, strengthen your bones and teeth, and helps to keep your skin healthy by fighting off certain toxins. Vitamin A is found in yellow and orange colored fruits and vegetables, such as sweet potatoes, carrots, red bell peppers, and apricots, for some examples. You might also find it in some protein sources, such as eggs, and even in fortified products like milk and some cereals. Next up, we have vitamin C. Vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin which contains antioxidants to promote healthy tissue growth throughout your body. This vitamin may reduce your risk of getting the common cold. It can help to maintain skin and tissue health and also assist in strengthening your bones and teeth. You can find vitamin C in many fruits and vegetables such as citrus fruits like oranges and grapefruits, red bell pepper, papaya, strawberries, and tomatoes. Vitamin C may also be found in some fortified products such as orange juice or cereals. Moving on now to vitamin E. Vitamin E plays a very important role in supporting immune and organ functions. It helps to protect cells from damage due to toxins. It assists in maintaining optimal muscle function and might even play a role in reducing the risk of cancer and heart disease. You can find vitamin E vitamin E in foods such as vegetable oils, avocados, spinach, nuts and seeds, and fortified whole grains or cereals. Another important nutrient for the immune system is zinc. Zinc helps to assist the immune system, may reduce common cold symptoms, and can even reduce the risk of cancer. This nutrient is only needed in small amounts and can be found in foods such as red meat, poultry, beans, nuts, seeds, and some whole grain products as well. And the final vitamin we'll talk about today, again, to make sure we're boosting our immune system and including everything that's needed, is vitamin D. Vitamin D is another essential fat-soluble vitamin. This vitamin helps to maintain the functions of our nervous system. It maintains healthy bone health, regulates blood levels of calcium and phosphorus, and influences the function of immune cells. Vitamin D is a unique vitamin. It is activated by the ultraviolet or UV light that comes from the sun. It can also be found in foods such as fatty fish, cod liver oil, and fortified milk, cereals, and juices. You might see a common theme here. Lots of these vitamins and minerals are found in fortified foods like cereals and grains. So that's just, another way to make it easier for you to obtain all of these nutrients regularly. Moving on next to probiotics. Your gastrointestinal tract, beginning at your esophagus and ending all the way at your rectum, contains a large percentage of the body's immune cells. In fact, the large intestine itself contains most of your body's immune cells. Therefore, there has been a lot of research to look into the effects of probiotics on the health of our intestines and their impact on our overall immune system. Probiotics are live microorganisms that are found in foods such as yogurt, cheeses, kombucha, sauerkraut, and miso, to name a few. Research has shown that these organisms may improve gut health and support a healthy immune system by contributing to the healthy bacteria that's in our GI tract. Although further research is still needed to fully understand their effect on our immune system, probiotics offer other benefits such as reducing harmful bacteria that may cause inflammation or illness. They may also aid in managing conditions such as diarrhea, inflammatory bowel disease, or symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome or IBS. Including probiotic-rich foods regularly in your diet can offer these positive health effects and, again, potentially boost your immune system. So we'll talk now about some other ingredients that you might find in your cuisine. They can also play an important role in maintaining a healthy immune system. Starting off with my personal favorite, garlic. We all know garlic for the unique and delicious flavor that it brings to many dishes. But were you aware that it also has anti-inflammatory and antiviral properties? Garlic is a great source of vitamin C, vitamin B6, selenium, and manganese, and contains other compounds that give it these immune-boosting benefits. Next up, we have onions. Like garlic, they are also a great source of vitamin C, but also contain compounds that we call flavonoids, which have been shown to decrease inflammation in the body. Moving on to some spices now, we'll talk about turmeric. Turmeric contains a component called curcumin, which helps to give it its distinct orange-yellow color that you may be familiar with. This component has anti-inflammatory and immune-boosting properties, which is why turmeric can be so crucial in keeping your immune system strong. Next up, we have ginger. You might be familiar with ginger for its well-known anti-nausea benefits, but it also helps to boost anti-inflammatory and antioxidant activity within the body. Remember that it's best to enjoy ginger uncooked and in its natural form, so try to buy it whole and grate into dishes whenever possible. And finally, we come to cinnamon, which you may all know and love. Whether you're using it to top a tasty treat, mix into your oatmeal, or maybe even sprinkle on top of your coffee, cinnamon is another spice that is rich in antioxidants. The essential oils that are found within this spice have even been shown to be antiviral, antibacterial, and have antifungal properties. So whether you're looking for some extra flavor or again, these immune boosting properties, adding herbs, spices, and other ingredients like garlic and onions to your cuisine can be beneficial in several ways. Moving on now to hydration. Hydration is critical for maintaining optimal health and wellness, especially as we begin to creep into the drier fall and winter months. Good hydration helps to keep your mucous membranes, such as your lips, mouth, nasal passages, and even the linings of your digestive tract soft and moist, preventing tiny cracks that allow viruses and bacteria to enter. Additionally, drinking enough water ensures that your blood will carry plenty of oxygen to all the cells of your body. All of your organs and muscle fibers need oxygen to function optimally. How much water you need depends on your size and weight, your activity level, and again, the season. The average recommendation is to aim for an intake of 8 8-ounce glasses or a total of 64 ounces per day to achieve optimal hydration. That being said, some people may need more or less in order to meet their needs. It's always wise to keep a water bottle by your side throughout the day so that you can sip when needed and keep yourself feeling hydrated. Another popular topic, especially in these times of COVID-19, are supplements and whether or not they're a good idea. Supplements are advertised to do a variety of things such as cure or prevent illness, maybe help with weight loss, optimize exercise performance, etc. And since the COVID-19 outbreak, many supplements and other natural or alternative treatments are also being promoted to treat or prevent this disease, along with other illnesses such as the cold or flu. At this time, research does not prove that any supplements are able to prevent or treat this illness. If you are considering any type of supplement, it's important to do your research so that you are a well-informed consumer and able to make the best choice for you. When looking at supplements, be sure to look into any and all possible contraindications and be sure to ask an expert for the appropriate strength, dose, and the possible effectiveness of the particular supplement. As mentioned previously, when it comes to coronavirus and other flu-like diseases, there is no proof that supplements will work. However, some supplements might have some small benefit, especially in managing some of the symptoms. Might not cure the actual infection or disease, but might help you manage some of the symptoms you're experiencing. Some examples of these include vitamin C, zinc lozenges, elderberry extract, vitamin D, and garlic supplements. And a vitamin and mineral supplement might also help if you're not getting enough in your regular diet. Again, always be sure to check with your doctor or a medical professional before starting any new supplements. All right.
Thank you, Lindsay. So now that we've learned about what vitamins, minerals, and other items to include in your diet to optimize your immune system and overall wellness, we're going to take a dive into what you should be limiting. Foods that are low in nutrients and high in preservatives, sugar, and salt tax your immune system since they include extra ingredients that your body can't use for good. Foods that contain high amounts of saturated fats, sodium, and added sugar should be consumed in moderation to maintain optimal health. So we'll start with saturated fat. Saturated fat is usually found in animal-based protein and is associated with certain health risks if consumed in excess. Saturated fat is the biggest contributor to raised low-density lipoprotein, or LDL, cholesterol levels in the diet. And research shows that limiting saturated fat lowers unhealthy cholesterol levels. It's recommended that you eat no more than 7% of your total calories each day from saturated fat. There are many foods that don't contain large amounts of saturated fats, and swapping to these foods will help replace foods high in saturated fats and will help you limit the saturated fat you eat and help you improve your cholesterol levels. One other thing to consider is you might also try eating more plant-based or vegetarian meals to moderate your intake of saturated fats. One thing to avoid, if at all possible, is trans fats. Trans fats also increase levels of LDL cholesterol. Hydrogenated fat in processed foods is the main source of trans fats in foods. Trans fats can be found in products like stick margarine, shortening, processed sweets, baked goods, some fried foods, and packaged foods. All of these products may be made with hydrogenated oils. Avoid partially hydrogenated oil on the ingredient list when choosing products such as cookies, pastries, baked goods, biscuits, microwave popcorn, or frozen dinners. So the chart on this page lists foods higher in saturated fat on the left and lower saturated fat on the right. Now, I ask you to question yourself, what changes could you make in your diet to reduce your intake of saturated fat? Next comes sodium. Sodium is a mineral that's actually essential for life. It helps to control your body's fluid balance, nerve impulses, and even muscle function. Although this nutrient is important, too much may become harmful. Elevated intake of sodium has been shown to contribute to heart disease and hypertension. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. This equates to about 1 teaspoon of table salt. On average, Americans typically consume about 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day, which is more than 1,000 milligrams than the daily recommendation. How can we work to improve this? The solution is here. These 6 popular foods might be contributing a lot of sodium to your diet. Lindsay and I challenge you to pay attention when making choices at the grocery store and when going out to eat. 70% of the sodium we consume comes from packaged, processed, and restaurant foods. So again, we encourage you to be mindful when picking your next meal or snack. Finally comes sugar, and more specifically, added sugar. Sugar is a sweet-tasting form of carbohydrate that provides calories but little to no other nutritional benefit. There are 2 main types of sugars: naturally occurring sugars, such as those in milk and fruit, and added sugars that are added during processing, such as fruit candy and syrup, sugar added to a cookie, or table sugar, just to name a few. So when we consume foods that contain naturally occurring sugars, you receive natural and additional benefits such as vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Therefore, we're not as concerned with the intake of naturally occurring sugars as we are with the added sugars in our diet. A few other examples of added sugar are honey, sugar added to baked goods, sugar syrup you top your pancakes with. And again, they provide extra calories with little further benefit. Therefore, it's important for us to monitor our intake of added sugars. To monitor your intake of added sugar, try looking at the nutrient facts label of your favorite beverage or snack. The added sugars will be listed on the right-hand side of the table below the sugar section. According to the American Heart Association, men should consume no more than 9 teaspoons or 36 grams of added sugar per day, and women should consume no more than 6 teaspoons or 25 grams of added sugar per day. Where do you fall as it relates to the recommendation? We recognize that our food options are limited when we're on the go. However, it's definitely possible to make healthful choices. For example, instead of choosing a bag of chips, try some unbuttered popcorn or roasted chickpeas. These options offer fiber, which may help you feel full longer and satisfied longer. Not to mention, they'll also provide a variety of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients to optimize your well-being. Craving a candy bar? Choose trail mix for a sweeter treat. Dried fruit and nuts provide essential nutrients while also satisfying that sweet tooth.
Amanda and I also understand that eating out is an important part of our culture. However, dining out can contribute to the majority of our saturated fat, sodium, and even added sugar intake. Not to mention those increased portion sizes that are often found at restaurants. The next time you dine out, try a few of these tips. You can stick to eating half of your meal and try saving the rest for lunch the next day. This will save you some extra calories and again, some of that extra saturated fat, sodium, and sugar. Another tip is to try looking at the menu in advance. That way you have time to pick a healthful option. Finally, try to prevent yourself from getting too hungry prior to going out to eat. It's all too common to overeat if we find ourselves starving before a meal. Lastly, when dining out, consider a few of the following alternatives to make your meal a bit more nutritious. Choose foods that are grilled instead of fried. Choose extra veggies or fruits as your side instead of those French fries or chips. Or even opt for a whole wheat bread instead of white. Finally, you might also look for olive oil instead of butter or mayo or other creamy-based dressings or sauces that may add, again, to these components that we're trying to limit. So when we're talking about optimizing our immune system and keeping our bodies strong and working to their best, we also want to make sure that we're eating enough. It's more common than you think that people might be not getting enough calories or enough fuel to keep their bodies healthy over time. A chronic calorie deficit over time, whether through failure to meet needs or intentional dieting for weight loss, can lead to impaired immune health, in that it decreases the energy available to support normal bodily functions. A calorie deficit without careful consideration of diet quality can also lead to insufficient intake of vitamins and minerals related to your immune system, including vitamins such as C, E, A, D, and zinc, all of which we talked about today. Aim to include not only fruits and vegetables with each meal, but also those quality lean proteins and whole grains too, to make sure that you're getting a well-balanced variety. So we've talked about a lot today. We began with the important vitamins and minerals and other foods to incorporate for a healthy well-being, and we went all the way down to what to limit and how to make some better choices. Now we're going to take a few minutes to put it all together by sharing with you a sample of what a well-balanced, nutrient-rich day of eating might look like. As always, please remember that each person has individual nutrition needs, and you don't necessarily have to eat exactly like this for optimal health. So we'll start off here with a sample breakfast. You might choose 1 cup of oatmeal as your whole grain to give you some fiber. Add in some fruit with a half a cup of blueberries, some healthy fats and protein with almonds, and getting some immune boosting properties from some cinnamon. Pair that with a cup of low-fat or fat-free milk and a cup of coffee for a well-balanced meal. Next, looking at lunch. You might choose, again, 2 slices of whole wheat bread to give you those whole grains and fiber, some protein from some turkey slices, throwing in a few veggies with lettuce and tomato, and some dairy with a reduced fat cheese option. As a side, again, add some vegetables such as fresh carrot sticks and provide some healthy plant-based protein with a 1/4 cup of hummus. Don't forget to stay hydrated throughout the day by drinking your water and maybe a cup of unsweetened iced tea with lunch. Your evening meal is just as important. And again, start off with a healthy protein source. In this case, we're trying out some baked salmon for that protein and heart-healthy fat. We could pair that with 1 cup of quinoa, again, for some whole grains and even some protein there. And a vegetable, some green beans cooked with that immune-boosting garlic. On the side, you can choose to, again, include more veggies. We can never have enough of those, with a mixed green salad and some healthy fats coming from an olive oil-based dressing. If you're looking for more, a whole wheat dinner roll on the side with a small portion of margarine or butter could be the perfect addition. And again, if we're looking to hit the sweet tooth, try a 1/2 cup of applesauce. You'll note here that we also include a cup of water with dinner. And note that this cup would likely be in addition to about 7 other 8-ounce glasses of water throughout the day. Finally, we come to snacks. Again, keeping things very well balanced, we're going to include a cup of low-fat yogurt to give us that healthy protein, some fats, and even those probiotics that we talked about. We'll pair that with a 1/2 cup of sliced peaches to keep those fruits coming in strong. Another snack option might be a banana with a cup of milk. So this is a sample day here. I'd like you to take a minute and think to yourself, is this the amount of food that you might consume in a day? How many calories or grams of protein, fat, and carbs might be in this meal? Did it meet those vitamin and mineral recommendations? Here you can see on the screen what this day would amount to. Again, take some time to think how this might compare to what you're eating in a day. So today we focused on how to boost the immune system through nutrition. In addition to nutrition, some other areas of lifestyle that are evidence-based to boost your immune system are physical activity, adequate sleep, and your mental health. We want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join this webinar. We hope you learned something new and that you have a greater idea of what to look for when planning healthy meals and snacks, and also, boosting your immune system through nutrition and living a healthy lifestyle. If you have any questions about today's presentation or are interested in learning more about the Connect Care 3 programs, please don't hesitate to reach out to us using the contact information on the screen. We're here to help. And thanks again, and have a wonderful day.